Welcome to our ISOM 358 final project. Today we'll be working with our client, TableTalk. TableTalk is an Emory student organization that is committed to bridging gaps within Emory's community by fostering conversation. TableTalk has 4 branches: Talks, Couches, X, and Media. TableTalk's goal is to maximize the number of attendees that attend their events by creating an optimized weekly schedule for over the academic year. TableTalk exec members will use this tool to automate decision-making and assist TableTalk in engaging with Emory's campus. Right now, our problems lie in these 3 things. First off, our budget concerns. Sometimes some of our branch leaders kind of make events without formally looking at our budget, so we want to address that. Secondly, we want to address our lack of centralization. A lot of these branches act individually, but we need to consider how these events will work together throughout the whole year. Lastly, decision-making, as exec members have a vague perception of branches' event execution capacity, which is something that we want to address.
All right, let's just dive right into our model over here. Here we have a beautiful front page. Start your TableTalk schedule. Let's click that button. I already have OpenSolver open, so that's okay. For this year, the first Monday of classes is the 26th of August, I believe. So I'm just going to input that. We have 7.5K in yearly budget, and we'll have 1 minimum events and 2 maximum events per week. And for our branch talks, the expected cost per event is $350. The average attendees is 30 people, and we'll have at least 8 talk events throughout the year, and we'll have a maximum events of 1 in every 4 weeks. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill out these other inputs for these other branches. So we'll go 65 for that, 70, 31, 11 for X, 70, 11, 2 for media, 50, 40, 10, and 2. And we'll just run this real quick. And it's going to take us straight into our output page, which we will go through later. Let's go through the model first.
Okay. So once the user finishes entering their inputs, we'll be able to see how our equations work by looking at our model page. So a calendar forms based on the start date that the user gave. So here we can see the start day of the academic year is August 26th. So for our decision variables, we use binary, where a 1 means that at this given week, a branch's event will occur. We also form a threshold for the maximum and minimum weekly events, also based on the user's input for the year. Furthermore, we have 3 constraints for every branch except for couches. These constraints display the buffer time of how many events will occur for each branch in 4 weeks. The only exception to this is couches, as it is a weekly event. Finally, we have our non-calendar inputs. So this includes the minimum events per year for each branch. We have a given average cost per branch event, average attendees per event, and we also have a total budget constraint. For our model, we will be maximizing the total number of attendees, as we can see here. Next, Daniel will be talking about our output page and what final results the user will be seeing on there.
Thank you very much, Nadya. Once the output page is produced, we can see on the left a weekly schedule for the year will be displayed, which will help the client visualize and establish more concrete deadlines for executive board members to prepare in advance. On the right, a summary is displayed to help the client understand how the semester budget can be allocated and what branches may be more costly than others. To make it even more convenient, we have installed a button that saves the calendar and the summary as a PNG right on your desktop. Here it is. It's labeled tteventcalendar.png, which could be submitted to fellow exec members, used in presentations, and a lot of other uses. As inputs may change at the start of every semester, the client can adapt this tool to fit their budgeting constraints and event planning needs. And that concludes our presentation going through our model. Thank you for joining our conversation here at TableTalk.